Intro to Interactive Media Speedrun Go.
In any professional space, it's important to be collaborative, communicative, and, professional. This means working well with others and communicating over different platforms such as Slack and email, all in a professional manner and tone. From there, you're also expected to know how to effectively find information. There are some rules, however. The information you find has to be from a reliable source, and you need a map to lead others back there as well, which is where citations come in. Citation both credits those who gave you the information and backs up your claims. One of the main issues with citations, however, is the fact that there are so many different formats. Be it MLA, APA, IEEE, whatever, they're all different in where the information goes and how it's displayed. No matter the format though, citation is necessary, even if it is needlessly complicated. When you pass off someone else's work as your own, that is called plagiarism. There are a swath of different ways one can plagiarize, and while copyright law and trademarks can protect an author and their work, those only go so far. A good way to avoid plagiarizing others is to use public domain or Creative Commons resources. Back to interactive media, as previously mentioned, much of your work involves collaboration. Part of this is being able to provide valuable feedback to others, as well as knowing how to receive the same. Ultimately, the more perspectives you get, the better the final product. A large part of how people consume media is visually, through images. Knowing how to create and manipulate these images is essential to properly showcasing your ideas.
Like, look at this drawing I made about making a drawing. With different programs like Photoshop, you can edit those images to suit your needs.
A developing part of the internet is the usage of AI to generate images based on prompts. Personally, either try to make the art yourself or commission an artist. And please do not call yourself an artist for having a machine grave rob the art of others and stitch it together into a monstrosity a la Frankenstein's monster. Another aspect with visuals is the typeface and font, each for different occasions. If you want to make a professional article, you may want to use a serif font. Or if you want a website to have a casual tone, use a sans serif font. Or if you want everyone to hate you, use Comic Sans. What's the point of interactive media if you can't interact with it? Interaction design, as the name suggests, is the design of how a user interacts with a piece of media. A common example of this is the use of buttons or menus. It's helpful to make a prototype of the media to get a blueprint for what everything will do.
One part of interactive media that is difficult to handle is accessibility. Because there are so many different things that could prohibit someone from enjoying your media, it's hard to account for them all. Some common accessibility fixes, though, are colorblind modes, custom controls, and audio-visual cues.
Audio work in digital media often includes sound effects, volume of different sounds, and other various tweaks to the overall audio. One part that is often included, but not necessarily needed, is music, which adds another element with their own settings to tweak.
There has been an emergence of programs that use AI to generate music and, more concerningly, imitate human voices. This raises discussions on the legality and morality of AI-generated work, with unauthorized use of music samples or someone's voice being used against their wishes. Digital videos are one of the most influential forms of media one can use, with different styles for different cases. But in order to make a video that truly interacts with its audience in a meaningful way, you have to be able to edit the video accordingly.
AV and presentation design is the blueprint to this editing process. It's helpful to plan out the different aspects, such as audio and visuals, of your video in advance, similar to prototyping. Once planned out, you can put together a cohesive piece that fulfills whatever goals you set out to do. Stepping back a bit, while it is possible to accomplish all these things on your own, remember the value of collaboration and communication. Not only can connections you make in the past help you in the future, but connecting with those who have experience in the field can often lead to valuable insight and even amazing opportunities.
That's not to say that collaboration is always easy. You'll sometimes find yourself in situations where you are forced to work with people or things that you're not entirely familiar with. This is where communication is key. Without it, the work you do can often feel disjointed, and even if the end product is good, you may be dissatisfied. One solution to this problem is to meet with your peers in person rather than only communicate online. While it is more effort, it helps bring perspective to your work, allows you to be direct and clear with your peers, and overall makes collaboration much easier.
In the real world, you will often be thrust into situations where you may be unsure of yourself. It's important to remember that no one gets everything right. Own up to your mistakes and work on not only fixing them, but making sure they don't repeat any more than necessary. We are all only human. In the case that you do work solo, it may not be as easy as you think. Working on your own puts all the tasks and responsibility on you. Pacing, planning, production, everything. While you may have big ideas, remember to work within your limits, be that time or physical.
Overall, there are many things to consider when it comes to interactive media. It's a lot to remember and can sometimes feel repetitive or overwhelming. But in the end, when you put it all together and you put your heart and soul into it, you end up with a beautiful piece of art, or a big pile of shit.